So now we're looking at virtual machines. What are virtual machines? Hmm? Uh, a virtual machine is a computer system which is designed to work uh, which is designed to work on a computer which has another computer system or another operating system. That system works on a computer, but that computer must be having another already existing what? Operating system. An existing what? Operating system. Let's see what they define before I show an example. A virtual machine is a computer file, typically called an image, that behaves like an actual computer. So what happens there is that a computer system will be existing on another computer system. That computer system won't be living on its own. It will be living on a computer having another computer system or another operating system. For example, uh, uh, you can have you might have a computer system which is using a Windows operating system, but that computer system is working on a computer which computer already has another operating system called Linux. Let me try to show you how this works practically. When you buy an Apple computer or laptop, most of the Apple laptops use what we call Linux. They don't use Windows. They use an operating system called Linux. And that's why you see using an Apple laptop is different from how you use a computer with Windows what? Operating system. Because its computer systems are different, its softwares are different. The computer works differently. Why? Because it uses an operating system called Linux that we are not used to. And that Linux also can only work with different special softwares. So if you want to use Microsoft Word can work on the Windows, on a computer with the Windows operating system. But the Microsoft Word that you use on a computer with the Windows operating system is not the same Microsoft Word that you can use on a laptop which has got Linux. So in that case, the Microsoft Word used by computers that have the Linux operating system is also a special software that is made. Understand? So here, there are so many different operating systems that make computers work differently. And each of those operating systems, they can only accept to work with softwares that are made for those operating systems. So the softwares used on the Windows operating system, computers with the Windows operating systems, are different from the softwares used on computers with the Linux operating systems. So how do virtual machines help here? What happens is, if you have a laptop which is if you have an Apple laptop which uses Linux operating system, but then you have you're used to using Windows operating system, then what you do, you'll ask an IT person to install for you Windows operating system on the Apple laptop. But remember, the Apple laptop already has a Linux operating system, which won't allow the software that you're used to. So what happens is that to allow your Apple laptop to also use the Windows operating system, then we create what we call a virtual machine. You install the Windows operating system onto the Apple laptop. That Windows operating system will exist as a computer itself. A computer itself. Why? Because it will be using its own softwares that we're used to. It will be operating differently. You get? And then also the the Linux, which is on the Apple laptop, also will be another operating system on its own, working differently. So it means your computer is going to be having two operating systems and two computer systems. One computer system that uses the Linux operating system, and one computer system that uses the Windows operating system. So for you, when you switch on your computer, the computer will allow you to choose whether you want to use the Windows operating system or you want to use the Linux operating system. So which means that you'll be choosing which computer system do you want to use. Is it the Windows one? Is it the one that uses the Windows operating system, or is it the one that uses the Linux operating system? But they all work differently. Why? Because they use different systems and software. They use different software and they work differently. So that's the purpose of virtual machines. So one advantage of virtual machines is that you can be able to perform or to use different operating systems on the same computer system. Why? Because some operating systems don't allow some softwares to run on them. So instead of getting stuck, you can install another operating system which supports that software. That's the purpose why that's one purpose why we put virtual machines. So in a nutshell, a virtual machine is a computer system which exists on a computer having another computer system with another operating system. For example,
Yeah.
if you install a Windows operating system on a computer which already has a Linux operating system, you'll be having two computer systems, one using the Windows operating system and the other using the Linux operating system. What are the advantages of that? Number one, the software that can't work on the other operating system can be used on another operating system. Two, you can be able to try out softwares on different systems to test them if they can work on different systems. One disadvantage is that obviously having two operating systems means that the computer resources are going to be overused. Then two, the operating system which has been added, what we call the guest operating system. The one that you add is called the guest operating system. The guest operating system can only work and depend on the way the host operating system allows it to work, which means that the operating system which was already there, which is called the host operating system, is the one that decides how the host or the new operating system or computer system is supposed to work. We shall look at more disadvantages, but obviously there's hardware devices are overutilized. Then virtual machines can be only used on specific computer systems, not all. Some computer systems don't allow. They are not designed to use virtual machines. They don't allow. Only a few can allow. And then the hardware as used must be of very high specifications. I mean, the computers must be very powerful, which means that to use virtual machines, your computer must be having very strong specification, and computer ends up being very expensive. So let's look at, let's watch this video, then we shall get more points. But for you, your homework will be finding out the advantages and disadvantages. But let's watch this video and we'll see what it says. So we're looking at virtual machines. Now, we have computer systems that can be called virtual. A computer system that can be called virtual. Have you ever heard of a virtual machine before? Anyone who has ever heard of that? Virtual machine. For example, on your computers, you have a virtual machine. You have a computer system which is there. You don't see it, but it's there. Which is called the Java virtual machine. The JVM. Java virtual machine. They are all computers. Each one for it is just to attend computer program which are written in Java. Just attend to them and translate them by you. Just work. It only executes or works on instructions that are written in the Java language. It is on every machine. It's called the Java virtual machine. That's a computer system. Now, another situation I can, before I give a definition, how many have ever used laptops which have got two operating systems? Maybe you buy, in most cases, you buy a MacBook. MacBooks don't use the common software that we use, that Windows computers use. Yeah, like yesterday, 11 students came and said, sir, I can't do practical
have MacBook and software, common software, Microsoft Office, and MacBook. So this laptop had an operating system, which was the operating system of the MacBook. So what did we do? In order for us to install the programs that work on Windows, and the student can have them on their laptop, what we did, I told the student, talk to your parents so that we can install two operating systems, so we can install another operating system on the laptop. So we're going to install also Windows. But whenever you switch on your computer, you are free to choose which operating system you want to use. If you want to use the Mac operating system, Mac OS, then you continue with the Mac. If you want to use Windows to do your work, you switch to Windows, you'll have all the software and use the Windows. I think you see, in that case, you have the two computer systems. One is
Is that possible on Mac?
Yeah.
Does Mac let you download Windows?
No, it's very possible, yeah. I'll send you a picture to watch out. It's very, very possible. So you have two operating, you're going to have two systems on the same computer. See? The one which was there, the father operating, or the old operating system will be.
Sir.
Then the guest operating system, the guest operating system will be the Windows operating system. So you're going to have two computer systems on one machine. But the Windows operating system on PC, it will be existing virtually. It will be existing virtually. It is not the host operating system, but it can use the resources that also the host operating system uses. So in that case, it means you would have put what's called a virtual machine. The virtual machine is a computer system which exists on another already existing computer system. It exists along. It exists on a computer along with another already existing operating system or computer system. That's called a virtual machine. It does its work in its own way, or ways. That's its own way that it does its work, different from the other operating systems that was already there. So they work differently. So the one of the Windows, which is the guest operating system, will do its work differently, and also the Mac OS also does its work differently. But the Mac OS is the host operating system. So in that case, we would have what's called a virtual machine. That's called a virtual machine. Computer system which exists on the computer alongside another already existing system. All systems work differently, but they can share some resources. What's the advantage of creating virtual machines? Number one, for example, here it can avoid us from buying so many hardware devices and so many different computer programs. Why? Because here, if I install Windows, for example, to find the Mac, I'm able to use one computer to do my work. And if I was supposed to buy another laptop, so resources are being shared, and we're not spending the lot to buy. That's another advantage. That's one of the advantages. The advantage is one. We're not spending a lot to buy machines, and we're not spending a lot to buy. But what are some of the advantages of virtual machines? Obviously, virtual machines work with specialized computers with specialized get to results right here. Go to the notes and come up with your ideas. Videos also there. Show you how we install them. Right now I can't because I want to calculate them. But everything is in the video. I put my own points are here. Advantages, disadvantages. I won't send you to the classroom. If you watch coding videos, they will show you how we install the mathematics. Very good. But right here with me, I have a picture to show you how mathematics can look like. Right here. You have one system at the back here, and then you have another system. So yeah, we have Windows, and we have Linux.
Does the performance slowdown of such machines compared to operating systems running?
I'm not sure about that, but I doubt because the machines are working. Yes, because they work at different. But those machines,
Like, okay, if you have a MacBook and you already have the iOS operating system, and then you get like Windows installed on your MacBook. So Windows is basically the virtual machine, right? Like Windows is called the virtual machine.
very good, yeah. And becomes what you call the guest system of operating. The guest. And the other one is the host. The videos are not for everything, don't need to worry. Everything, even the way they install, when you get an idea, but you can do on videos very well. Now, allow me to look at the last part of this chapter. On what look at called translators. I don't think that I'm supposed to look at this so much because I have a video about everything. Now, let me just talk about what you're supposed to know about this language.